folks, welcome back. Today I am using the Lightseers Tarot, and I have laid your cards out in a Celtic cross formation. If you hear some noise, there's some construction going on outside, okay? Please excuse the noise. In any case, we have here as your central theme, the moon in reverse. Lies and secrets have been revealed. You might have had a part in keeping them secrets, in creating those lies, and it was to lead people astray, to give people the wrong kind of idea that things were all right, that they were doing well, when in fact they weren't. This is a difficult time for you because I see you're about to start some shadow work also with this particular card. When lies are revealed, that's when shadow work needs to begin in order for us to evaluate who we are, how those situations were created, and also to start work towards reaching our best and our highest selves. No matter what our mistakes may be, no matter what we may have done to try to cover up the past, that doesn't mean that all is lost and that you can't make your story an incredible redemption arc, okay? What you have assisting you in this particular case, and also possibly hindering you in the future, depending on how you use this particular entity. This is the King of Swords. This is air on fire, so this is someone who has a great deal of intellect and knows when to act. It's in the upright position, but it's also pointing towards the past, which tells me that you saw through the bullshit, and at some point you eventually chose to take action and say something that kind has burned things down to the ground, so to speak. I don't have the Tower in this particular spread, but there is that sense that you may have spoken to somebody about what was going on, and when people said, "Can we help?" you took action and you said yes to this, quite possibly, okay? Take this as it resonates. This is a major time for you. This is a whole lot of upheaval that I see going on right here. This is in your past. This is the Nine of Cups. It's in reverse. What led up to you eventually cutting through the bullshit and talking about it with somebody was being just deeply unhappy. You kept telling yourself there's got to be a better way about doing all of this, about feeling this, about seeing things, about doing things, thinking this way. You were ready for a change, and I'm not saying that it wasn't painful, but you were ready for this. Nobody could do this for you. This wasn't someone that anyone could even start for you. You were the one who had to cut through the bullshit and start letting things go, okay? In your conscious position, you are ready for things to end. This is death in reverse, but it's also rebirth. This is also part of the end of an era. Once one era ends, another one must begin, and this is in the conscious position, which is you being conscious that you need to make this happen if it hasn't already happened. For some people, with it being reversed, that indicates that rebirth has already started. The start of a new era has already begun, but that may not be the case for everybody. I might be speaking to someone who it resonates more to hear that you're about to start doing this. This is on your mind. It's been on your mind for a minute, and now you just need to take action on it. I see here with the King of Swords that you're absolutely able to do that, and I hope that you fall back on the fire energy, the willpower in the King of Swords, and you move forward into bringing about that end if it hasn't already happened. In the subconscious position, you have the King of Pentacles. I see this as someone who is incredibly intelligent when it comes to investing financial resources, and not just investing, but using them, and also being generous enough to help others who are in a similar tight spot. This is someone who has been collecting resources for a while in order to prepare for this end to an era. The moon could possibly be something about a romantic partnership, and one in which you've built a family with. And this is you realizing that you're going to need to be able to carry yourself and any children that you may have, any minors in the home, any dependents actually who rely on you, that you're going to need to have your shit together in order to make life comfortable for you all. And with the King of Pentacles in the upright position, that's the perfect kind of entity I would hope to see was someone who was wise about their resources and knew when to let go of the purse strings a little bit, when to spend, when to save, when to invest. But this is also someone who is potentially deeply connected to their body, who knows when to let it rest, when to bring it into action. Again, this is earth and fire energy. So this is being grounded while at the same time knowing when to take action. In the upright position, I see fire and earth as being in harmony with one another, and so often, that isn't the case. You've heard the term scorched earth. That's when, taking action too much turns you into a workaholic, and it becomes scorched earth, in the sense that your body is not well taken care of. But in this case, this is in the upright. This is a great position to be in. You know when to cut loose and have fun with your kids, friends, family, that kind of thing, but also when to get to work, because you know that it benefits not just you, but the people who are dependent on you. Okay, now this is in your future position, and this is where I kind of see where this was both challenging you and helping you at the same time. When the King of Swords was pointed towards the past, that was you realizing how deeply unhappy you were and understanding that it was time to move on into something better for you. At the same time, the King of Swords is not pointing towards the future, which talks to me about you possibly overthinking things, about how things went, about how lies may have unfolded and been revealed to friends, family, the public in general. It's a deeply upsetting phase, and you might come to points where you overthink things, and it might slow things down. Your mind might slow things down for you. This is a good time to start practicing or going back to practicing meditation if you aren't already. The King of Swords in the upright position suggests to me that there is some of that practice possibly already in place. Take it as it resonates, but if you aren't there, it's perfectly possible that you've got the King of Swords, someone who knows how to think on their feet, someone who knows when to take action. It may be that you haven't practiced meditation yet, and that's another way that you can expand your King of Swords personhood. But in the future, there's the real risk that you could think too far, and I'm getting the phrase down in the dumps, okay? There's a real risk that you could overthink yourself into a kind of depression and struggle to take action on some things that you need to be taking action on. In your advice position, you have the Two of Swords, and that's you needing to make a choice about how you're going to handle your frustration and disappointment with the future. Are you going to hang out there, or are you going to choose to move on? Now, here's the thing. The outcome is the Devil, which talks to me about old habits dying hard. There's the real risk that if you make the choice to stay in your regrets, that you could end up repeating a pattern that needs to end when you start doing shadow work. And there with the Moon card in reverse, that's an indication that you really need to do some degree of shadow work so that you can avoid this character, the Devil, right here. You need to make a choice to move on as easily as you possibly can. And that doesn't mean that you take what happened in the past for granted, that you don't recognize the need for your trauma to heal. But with the Two of Swords, that's you needing to make a choice, and it might not be very clear to you at first. Stop, meditate, consider your options before sticking around in your regrets. You need to move on and you need to grow. You need to come into this energy, the King of Pentacles. You need to take care of your body. Take action when it comes to taking care of your material resources. And also, you need to use your mind in such a way that you don't become a slave to it. You are its master, is what I should say. I get my terms mixed around. I'm sorry. But your mind can often it's easy to overthink. It's easy to allow our minds to rule over us instead of us ruling over our minds and us telling what's appropriate to think in terms of regrets of the past. There's no need to beat yourself up if that's something that you tend to do. What you need to do is you need to plow forward. You need to move on. You need to keep going and growing. And if you can come into this energy before you even reach this particular point, if you can heal yourself, If you can attend therapy, or if you can do a whole lot of shadow work, for instance, I hope that you can avoid, I am hoping that you can avoid this altogether. So here in your environment, you've got the Seven of Swords. Someone is robbing you of your voice. Someone is changing, or your thoughts are changing in response to someone else's words or actions or beliefs. Generally speaking, this is a very tense and tightly managed situation is the phrase that I'm getting, and that's you. You are managing things in fear of them getting out of control. And this card is here to let you know that your voice has already been stolen and that you need to get out. Get back to where you should go as soon as you possibly can. Those are words directly from Spirit. There's something about this about this environment that's sapping your energy, sapping your voice away. You need to leave if you haven't already left. I see you as making plans to make this happen. Do this as soon as possible is what Spirit is saying. In your hopes and your fears position, you've got the Queen of Cups. This is you being afraid of being taken advantage of again, but I'm also seeing the deep hope that you can come to a point where you have deep compassion for yourself again, that you can feel your emotions freely without fear of judgment. You might be connected to a partner or be in a situation where it's not easy to express yourself emotionally because it's frowned upon. You're being asked, quite possibly with this particular card, to keep your emotions in check. And that might be way out of balance. In fact, in the reverse, it's upright. Okay, it came out in the upright position, but in the reverse position, I wonder if that isn't you clamping down on your emotions so tightly that you don't feel anything at all. And I wonder if some of that moon energy in reverse isn't you doing shadow work into becoming this particular entity, someone who feels their emotions, isn't overwhelmed by them, but is also deeply creative, deeply passionate, loving, compassionate, intuitive, sexual, all that kind of great stuff. This is you releasing into the person you were always meant to be. If you choose not to stay in the energy of the Five of Cups, you choose to grieve, heal, and move on into your new life, it's going to be a whole lot easier to be in this energy of the Queen of Cups. You're going to have both, and you're going to have both boundaries for yourself, especially with all these kings, but you're also going to be able to flow as freely as you have boundaries. There's going to be able to be a nice equilibrium for you if you can avoid staying in your grief for too long. I understand that you've been through a terribly rough situation, that you have a lot of shadow work to do, but what you're doing right now, this opportunity being offered to you right now, is one of the best opportunities you've had in a long, long time, and possibly the first in your lifetime. I encourage you to take it. Now with that, folks, I'm going to close out this particular reading. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching.